Good morning, good evening, everyone, and welcome back in today's class. Okay, so from today, in the next 3 days, we're going to be discuss a big topic, which I'll say that which will be cover approximately 10 to 15% of our syllabus. Okay, the only thing which is be required here to understand that this is more over understanding plus more over on the practice as well. It is required. Okay, and I let me show you on the screen here. So these topics we are going to be start now. Request management, order guide, catalog item, categories, workflow activities, and flow designers. Okay, I target this to put for the 3 days, but let's see how we can proceed on that particular front. Okay, now from today for the next 3 days, we will specifically talk about only one term, that is called the requests management. Okay, what do you mean by the word request? Basically, when you say or when you asking someone, please provide me that access, please help me on that link, please help me to understand this point, it means you are doing a request. The major point which request say that it sometime required approval, it sometimes don't require any approval on the place. Let's take a normal example here. Okay, suppose Sachin want to buy a new flat. Okay, and the cost of that flat is approximately near about 40 60 60 70 lakh. Okay, before he go and say to the builder, yes, I'm happy to take it, he will definitely get kind of approval in his family. He may consult, definitely there is no consult of the may here, he definitely will consult with his wife, with his parents, that I am going to do investment of 70 lakhs on this particular location for this particular flat. What's your input on that part? If the family is okay, then he will go ahead and book that flat. If family is not okay, maybe he drops the plan for the time being and start looking some other flat, some other location, which is maybe a little less costlier, but good spacious and at a good place. Okay. So to understand the fundamental of request management, I'm going to introduce three major terms here. Okay. And this is very important topic from the interview perspective as well, and from the development perspective as well, or from the consulting perspective. Okay. In the request management, the main item which is used is called the item. Main concept which is used is called the item. Okay, let me show you here something. Okay. Now the question comes, what do you mean by the item in the? So item is the last option, last point which you are going to be order, or which you are going to be request in the system. Suppose I want to buy a shirt, or if I go here on the Amazon website, if I go here, okay, suppose I want to order some grocery. Oats and this, and when I click on this oats, okay, let it be, okay, let me scroll. When I click on this oats here and say add to cart, it means this is the log item for me which I'm going to be the order from any of the website. you are requesting them that boss, please give it to me. You're not ordering them, you are requesting them. So when I click on this, it means I am done on that part. So this particular, only this is a catalog item for me. If I change the weight here from 500 to 1500, this will be another item for me. If this is the item, then what is the category? So category is this thing. Oats and most is my category. This is my category because when I click on this, I have a lot of options to select. And in the top of that, what is catalog? Catalog is my grocery and food. This is my catalog. In simple meaning, you go to restaurants for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. As soon as you enter in the restaurant, what you get from that particular person or the serving person, you get a menu card. What is menu card? Menu card is a catalog. Okay. When you open that menu card, you see that it has a multiple sections. Soft drink, hard drink, breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, snacks, tea time, pakoras, party time, sweets. So these are the different categories. Now, if you open the lunch as a category, in that category, you will get a subcategories as well. Thai, Chinese, Indian, Punjabi, or some other flavor you want to taste it. And in that category, you pick up one item called the roti or the naan. Okay, so that is the last which you are going to be ordered now. You never say, okay, boss, please bring this roti section. No, you put a specific roti there. You put a specific item there. I want this dal. I want this dessert. I want this roti, or I can say what I can say. This food I want specifically. I want this particular item or dish. Okay. So in the same manner in ServiceNow, we have three things. On the top is called the catalog. Then under catalog, we have a category. And under category, we have a item. Now tell me one thing. Suppose Farha, she open a restaurant. Okay. Will they put any category in the catalog? For that, they don't have any item available. Suppose they printed one menu card. In menu card, they have options called Thai, Chinese, Italian. Okay. But under Italian, they don't have any item. They don't know that how to cook, what to cook. Do you think that in this case, they need to be print Italian as a category on the catalog? Yes or no?
No.
No. If I take a one level up, they don't know that what is coming in the Italian, in the category Italian. Will they print Italian as a category in the catalog? Means if you don't know that what you are going to be cook or put into the Italian, will you put that section in the catalog?
No, I think
No. No. Like if I don't know about ServiceNow, will I put publicly, yes, I am a ServiceNow trainer? I cannot put. Or if I put, it is not relevant for me now. Okay. Any question till this point?
no, it's clear.
Okay. Gaurav, Mahesh, Roshan, where is Sachin?
No. Okay.
Okay. Roshan, Gaurav. Let me try to add again. Okay. So if there's a no question, let me proceed to the next point. Okay. Now this is basically on the display level. Now if I come to the ServiceNow, ServiceNow terms we are talking specifically. Okay. So this particular process work in the hierarchy. What hierarchy? Number one on the top is called the request. Under that you have the RITM. What do you mean by RITM? Request item. And under that we have a C task. Yes, C catalog task. Now I tell you that how this work. Suppose you are ordering the grocery. Okay. You are ordering the grocery from any of the website. You put 20 items in your basket or in your cart. Okay. And you click on the order now. Will you guys get 20 different bill or 20 different request number? Any idea?
20 different request number.
You will get 20 different request number. Okay, but the actual request will be only one.
Yes.
Right? Farah and Shim, what do you say? You order 20 different items
Yes.
on a website. Okay, you get one single order number. And under that order number, you will get a different items.
Item.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So in this way, ServiceNow work. Okay. Now I'll update you or tell you that what do you mean by the C task? Okay. Or basically it's called the SC task, not C task, service catalog task. Okay, SC task. Now let's take example. You order a mobile phone from the website. What activities will be happened in the background? Anjan, what activities will be happen in the background if you order a mobile phone?
First, it will go for stock check. Sorry, no, it will not happen because in order, if it is available, then probably it is available.
Yes.
So first, it will go for approval.
Okay.
Then payment.
Approval for whom? I'm talking that I'm not talking about from the ServiceNow perspective. I'm talking from the layman language.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So it will directly go for the payment.
Okay.
When the payment criteria is being successful, then it will go for shipping.
Okay.
Then it will go for then it will send a notification that the order is being confirmed and it is about to ship. And then there will be multiple notification coming out in my phone or in my email that this is the status of your mobile.
Okay.
The mobile is transiting.
Notification is the one thing. Then what next? You book the order. Then what next?
I will get a particular order number on that.
Okay.
Right.
Don't think from the user perspective. Think from the business perspective now. You receive a order that Atul Grover order a mobile phone. What next will you do as a shopkeeper?
Shopkeeper.
What you will do as a
Check
shopkeeper?
Check the disponibility.
Okay. What next?
I will try to deliver it through a different source.
Okay.
You as a shopkeeper.
Okay. So let's I guess there's a little confusion here. Let me put a little more simple example. Okay, let's say example, a Russian order a mobile phone from the Amazon website. Okay, and I am the Amazon person. Okay, he booked the order, he done the payment. I as a Amazon get a order number in my bucket. Okay, I send that order number and the detail of my Russian to the particular shopkeeper. Shopkeeper sent that detail because he's a very big rich man. He cannot go do that also. He sent that email to the packaging or the stock department. Stock team pick up that order number. See, okay, Mr. Roshan ordered a black iPhone, black color iPhone. They pick up that order, they pick up that mobile phone, the device, and they send it to the packaging team. Packaging team will check that everything has been 100% good. They will start packing on that put the labeling on that part. Then they send that particular package to the outsource department or the transit department. Transit department will do the entry in the register and will book for the courier. Courier person will come and pick up that item and it will start in the transition format again. From one city to the another city to the Roshan city, it reach. Then that person will hand over that particular package to the courier hub in that city. From that courier hub, that person will again pick up, see the address and deliver to the particular pin code office. From that pin code office, one more guy pick up that product and go to the Roshan house and finally it deliver it. Okay, now if you see this example, in this example, multiple parties are getting involved and every party has his own SLA, which we discuss. Courier people say that from deliver from Delhi to Pune, I'll take 3 days. That is his SLA. Stock department say to check and to do the coloring and all the things, we need 1 day. Transit department say, packaging department say, because we have thousands of orders in a day, I'll take 2 days to do the packaging, labeling and sending to the transit department. Now the point is the point is that by seeing this example, by listening this example, you understand that multiple parties are involved. But how they will know that now they have to start their action, now they have to start their item? How the courier person will know that now I need to go to Atul's shop and pick up that package? How the transit department know that I need to send this particular package to the courier? How the packaging department know that I need to do the package of this particular product now? How the stock department know that I need to find out the black color iPhone and do the check-in and updating my register? The only thing is that once a user trigger a request, only then these things will be happen. Okay, here one more term I'm introducing is called the workflow. Okay, I'm sure that everybody in this class know that what do you mean by the word workflow? A set of activities executed in a sequence is called the workflow, or set of activities executed in parallel format or the sequential format is called the workflow. Like again, take example, I want to make a cup of tea. What is the workflow for making a cup of tea? Get the fry pan, put the water, switch on the gas, put the tea, put sugar, put milk, wait for 5 minutes, switch off the gas, pick up the fry pan, put in the glass and enjoy the tea. Will you do any step up and down? Let's put the milk, then switch on the gas and then now bring up the fry pan. It cannot be done. because if you do this thing, your process will be break. So now we need to be see that how these things can be configured, where these things can be configured. Anjan put one more point that Atul, I will get an email notification. Yes, you will get an email notification, but where we are going to be define that emails, not in the email notification. I am talking about for the trigger point. How my system know that now I need to send an email to Roshan that your product has been dispatched. How my system know that now my Roshan should receive an email that your product is going to be delivered within 24 hours. There's something in the background. So what we'll do now, I'll show you one example. We will create one catalog. We will use one catalog item. We will understand the process and then we'll see how this can be configurable. Okay. So guys, my instance is not working in a good condition. So I'm using another instance as of now. Okay. First point, I am putting a new word here and I'm using a new link here. Link ending with, what is the link ending with?
SP service portal.
Service portal. Exactly. The question or the point for the guys, specifically Roshan, Mahesh, for you guys, that there are two things you have to remember. Okay. This is the view. This is called the native view, or you can call this view as a ITL view, or you can call this view as a agent view, or you can call this view, this particular view format as a what I can say, fulfiller view. Okay, but if you see here, this is called the service portal. We already done the discussion on that part, that what do you mean by the service portal. But now we will do a little more deep dive in this section. Number one point is that to access the service portal, I need a separate link called this, like this. I will tell you from where this link is coming. It is not a magic in the background in the system, guys. It is all the configuration. I'll tell you that where you can go and change this SP. You can put your name, you can put /Farah and it will open this page. You can put /Roshan, it will open the page. But we need to do some configuration. For today, just see this thing and tomorrow I'll show you that from where these things are coming. Okay. Now what I can do, I'm going to request something. So on the Amazon, we have a thing like on the top, we have a catalog. So here we have a click on the catalog here. Okay. Okay. And here I'm getting option browse by categories. See, if you open the Amazon website and you know that you want to buy a phone, will you be go in the what I can say, fashion or some other category? No, you will go directly in the electronics in the mobile. You click on the browse by category here because I want to order some specific, and these are the categories available. See, the same manner which we saw on the Amazon: fashion, grocery, electronics, mobile, gadgets, accessories, perfumes, telecoms. You can see a different categories are there. Don't worry, I'll tell you that how you can create this category. So next 3 days are important to understand this complete structure. Okay, now let me go and click on the hardware, and in the hardware let me click on the mobile phone. Okay, I want a Apple iPhone 6s. Okay, or I want a iPhone 6s. Guys, you can gift me anything. I'm okay to accept it. Okay, the thing is that the same thing happen on the Amazon. You see the catalog item and you see the price as well. Now you are interested to see more about that item. Suppose you are going to be order a, what I can say, you are going to be order a laptop. Yes, I see Mac Pro. Okay, on the Mac Pro you see, oh, it is too much, this much amount. What is the configuration here? Click on the view details. These all are the configurations. Okay, and here you can see, oh wow, it's iPhone not bigger, this, all these things is there. Okay, good. Now I'll come to this point, important. If you want to buy a phone and you want to do exchange, you have this option, right? So the same thing they are doing here. Is this replacement of a lost or broken iPhone? I said yes. If I say yes, then they say, please put your original phone number. Means what is the EMI number or something is there, you can put that number on that part. Okay, I'm not an iPhone user, so I'm not sure what is purpose or what is the meaning of this. Okay, if you say no, okay. Monthly data allowance, how much data you want to save on your particular this. Maybe you're buying some product from me. So if you say, like take example, you say I want to buy iPhone. As soon as you click on the red color, the price increase by 100 or 200 rupees. If you click on the black color, the price will be the same. Or maybe when you put some fancy color, the price will come automatically. So these things which you are able to see here, these things, these are called the variables here. These are called variables because maybe for the iPhone, you have a variable called the color, but for the coffee, when you're ordering a coffee, you don't have a variable. What you will say that I need a pink color coffee? It is not possible, right? So variables are variables. We use variables when we need a little more information about that product from the customer. And variables are I can say variables are those which don't keep their values in any of the table. I'm again repeating two things. Let me put it here. Number one, if I open an incident here, click on the new. Whatever. Let me go here and open the incident. Okay, it's opening. Now, see, number, color, watch list, all these things. These are called the fields. Why? Because these have a stored in a specific table. But these are called the variables. They are just used in the runtime to get some value, and then the purpose of the variables are be over. Simple example, when we study in our college, or definitely you do some programming as well. Okay, variable A, variable B, variable C. What do you mean by the variable here? That it will store a value for a time being, right? So that is the thing we're using the variable. But if you see function X or function sum, in the bracket you mention A and B, those are actually field because those are the defined in a particular function. Okay, so in the same manner, do you want? I want to pound or dollar, 2.11 found additionally for the monthly basis. I see it's charged me approximately for the 1 year. You can see here this thing, right? Now I say I need a color as well, good color. Okay, silver. Unluckily, there is a no pricing for the same. Gray. You can put any color. Storage. I want a 128 GB. Now see here, it is showing this amount. When I click on this, I want 120. See, my price has been increased to the 633. Okay, and now I am just ordering something, requesting here. Okay, in how many days it will be delivered? It will be delivered in the 2 days. Do you want 1 or 2? I want 5 quantities. Anjan is our good friend. He is ordering iPhone for everyone, guys. So he put the 5 as a quantity. Now I click on the order now. Means I am done with my payments. This is the system. So I'll tell you that how in IT we work specifically. Okay, this is saying you want to request for yourself or someone else. Suppose I want to, like, if I take example, Anjan want to order for us, so he can put my name. Okay, it should go to the Atul. If you want to put any delivery information, happy birthday, special instructions, please pack with red color paper. Okay, and click on the checkout. It means I am ordering this thing now. Now you see here a important point. What I get one request number here, REQ00100002. For Anjan, this is the tracking number. This is the order number for Anjan. Now what will happen in the background? Specifically for you guys, Mahesh, Gaurav, and other guys, because you still little away from the IT structure. How IT works specifically, suppose I joined a new company and my manager says, Atul, go and raise a request for the laptop. In this case, I will not pay any amount for my laptop. I will use one code, and that we call as a project code. I will put that project code and the payment will be taken from that code. It is not going from my pocket, right? So by this manner, it has been working. Now what we are going to be discussed, this exercise which we are doing just now, this is from the end user perspective. Like I am the person who is ordering something from Amazon. I got an order number. Now I'll show you when Amazon get this order number, how they people behave, how they people work on that particular stuff. So what I'll do, I'll go here and we'll search for that particular item. Sorry, request number. Okay. Now we are working from the fulfiller perspective. Remember, we are not working as an end user. Now the thing is that suppose Farha, Sheem, Sachin, Roshan, Gaurav, Anjan and Mahesh is running a company. I as a Atul Grover order 5 iPhones from your company. Okay. Now you 5 have a different department. One is working the stock, one is working the packaging, one is working the labeling, one is working the transit, one is working in the finance, one is working in the courier department kind of stuff. Okay. Now I'll go here. Number one point is that this is the request. You can see here, right? This is the REQ. I'm talking about this particular stuff here. Request. Okay. Now I go here. You can see that it is pending for approval. As I told, in our IT industry, if I want to order or I want to request a laptop, it should be approved by manager first. Okay. Now the thing is that where you can go and see whose approval is pending. You can go here and see in the approval tab. It is pending for Mr. Eric. Okay. Suppose Anjan is Mr. Eric. Anjan, go and approve it. Okay. Anjan approved the request. Yes, I know that Atul is joining in my team. Okay, and he should get a laptop from the company. So he approved my request. Now let's proceed on the down and come here for the request item. Second point, maybe guys, you can note down these points for tomorrow discussion. Second point, which no one asked, Atul, how my system know that it need to be go to Mr. Eric only, not go to Farha, Sheem, Roshan or anyone else? From where these things are coming? Second point for tomorrow's discussion. Come to the requested item. Now I am talking about this thing, R8. I open the RATM. Okay, click.
Your voice cuts, Atul.
Can you repeat?
Okay. The second point is that when we open the request, okay, how my system will know that he need to go for Mr. Eric approval, where it has been defined. That is the second point.
This is for tomorrow.
Yes,
We
it is
will
for
answer this question tomorrow or now?
it is for tomorrow, not for now.
Okay, okay.
Today we are bringing up the question, and tomorrow we see the solution of this.
Okay.
Okay, because we guys did not forget that how this configured, where this has been configured. I'm putting these things in your mind to be understand. It is not a magic. It is somewhere has been defined. But where that somewhere we will discuss tomorrow. Now I'll go to the requested item. Click on the RATM number. Okay. So these are the parameters which has been filled by the variables filled by the user. No, unlimited, space gray, and 128 GB. Now this is the RATM number, and you can see down here. Anjan is in the procurement department. This request go to Anjan in the format of the task. Okay. Why task? Because if I will not create a task, how my next person know that you need to be work upon this particular ticket? Simple example, if I did not share the course agenda with you guys, it is not possible for you to guess that tomorrow what topic Atul is going to be picking up, right? So in the same manner, we have a concept called the task. Now Anjan will open this task. He will go to the storeroom and he see, okay, I have a stock. Yes, I have a stock. Let me close the task. He put the close, complete, and he will put the work notes here. Yes, stock available. And he will close the task. Anjan work is over now. Procurement team say yes, we are available. We have available space gray in the system. Then it is done. Now the next task generated for the field service. Anjan says that boss, we have a stock, but it is not available in my location. It is some other location in the same city. He assigned that task to he created a task for the Sachin, who work on the transitions of the different stuff from one go down to the another ground. Sachin got that email and Sachin say, okay, bring space gray and give to next team. And he closed the task. That it means he confirm, yes, I bring that particular item from the another ground, another go down and handing over to my next team. And which is the next team is there is again the field team who will set up the phone. Suppose if phone definitely you cannot do, but if I order a laptop from my office, what they will do? They will not purchase and send it to me. They will get the laptop from IBM or Lenovo. They will do the initial setups. They will put the company image on that. So this is the task has been created for the next team. Configure hardware, test the system for the initial boot ups. They're done. It's working as expected. And they will close the task. Close task here. Okay. Once laptop configuration has been done, what next? Deliver to the customer. And now they book it for the courier and the delivering. Tracking number 111111, and they close the task. Okay. Now you see, as soon as I close my last task, okay, my request item move to the completed state automatically. Number 1 point. Now see the request status. It's showing as a closed, complete. So this is the manner, this is the way that you getting a phone delivered at your doorstep. Multiple teams participated, multiple teams have a multiple task. So in this manner, we define it. Okay. Any doubt and in this understanding?
No?
No, it's clear.
Mahesh, Sachin, Anjan, Roshan, Gaurav.
Lengthy process, but I believe.
No, Anjan. It's not a lengthy process. Don't blame to the process. Blame it to the customer then.
Yeah, I mean the entire workflow. If you look after the entire workflow, it is quite lengthy to understand.
Yes, agree on that part. That for today it is been lengthy for you, but after 1 or 2 days, when you start doing the practice on that stuff, it will be an easy work for you. So if you understand this process, if you understand this whole concept of request, RITM and the task, it means you done the half battle now. You done with the half battle. Okay. Now what will do next? About the service portal little bit. Okay. Because I want to start with the new topic of the workflow here. It takes approximately 1 hour, but I'll have this topic in my mind, service portal. Now let me come to this place. And I click on the home here. First point which we open, that Atul, we need to put this /sp from where this particular link is coming. So what you can do, you can go here and search for the service portal. This one. Service portal as an application and portal as a module. Click on the portal. When you click on the portal, because this portal is given by ServiceNow out of the box to every customer. Either you use PDI, either you use your customer specific instances. This portal is given by ServiceNow out of the box. So now go here and you can see that these many portals are available. So I'll open one more portal here. See, it has been opened. Let me open one more here. SP. from where these links are getting triggered. These are getting triggers from this particular portal. See, I am using service portal. It say what is the URL suffix? URL suffix is sp/sp. Then I will call a script and I will load a page for you. So it's loading a page for me. See, knowledge, configuration, basically all these things. This is basically ServiceNow portal configuration. Open this portal. Okay. Important both. Title service portal. This thing. Service portal. Make a share. Learn and grow. What happened? Okay. Now it's learn and grow. URL suffix. Which suffix you want to put? Let's change this suffix so that can somewhere in the background. I'll put LNG. Let's update this page. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Go here and instead of that, let's put learn and grow. Let's see what happened. See, number one, learn and grow is coming on the top. The title is coming and is taking the my particular portal stuff, right? It means I can put any name here. It will be working for me. Number 1 point. Second point, which you can see on the thing. This is coming from a concept called the right in the mobile phone as well. We have a theme, right? If you apply a theme, the background color, the icons or the images, so not images, basically icon, dialing pad, these things got changed automatically. So this is coming from the concept called the theme here. This one, and this is the Lazola is theme which is provided by Service. Now let me change the theme here to any R&D here. Let me put the stock and update. Let's go here and reload my page. These things are important from the consulting perspective because nowadays customers are so much demanding about us and how you will, because if you know, then you can reload completely. These R&Ds you can do in my instance. See, I change the theme, the color has been changed here, right? Yes or no? The color has been changed.
Yes.
Yes.
Now
what I'll do, I'll okay, let me go here and now let me change the one more thing. Let me change the menu header, means this thing, knowledge catalog. Let me change this. I go here, double asterisk. Let me put a header. Come on. Click here. Okay, in the meantime, any question till this point? Any doubt, any question? Anyone?
No.
No,
It's okay.
Or you guys are not, you're not able to hear me. Okay. Sun, what do you think? Wait, guys, a lot of disruption there nowadays. See, it's a 0. Okay, now let me change to the config menu. Let's put this as a header and let save this. Okay, I've saved this. Let me reload my page now. Second, or one more important point is that in nowadays, portal customization is very much demand in market. So now you can see I change my header and my options are gone, right? So these things. And if you guys want to work in the portal, you should know the scripting by heart. That is the only thing required here. Okay. Now I'll go here. Now let me show the landing page. Okay, let's change the landing page now. Let's take it to the right place. Otherwise, it's not look good sometimes. And now let me change the landing page. Login page means that the page. Okay, if I log out, it will log out from here. So let me change the login page. I say login page should be the CAP workbench, and just save it. Okay, and let me log out from here, because it is a login page. That how my login page will look like. See, my login page has been changed now. It is coming. It is picking up which page? It is picking up the CAP_workbench page. Okay, and I'm not able to log in now because that particular page don't have any option for the inputs. Now, if I change my login page to the landing only, I know.
We can configure the timeout session at all.
We can, but how much time you want? Good question, good discussion here. Very good. You open this. Anjan, what do you think that Farha raised a point that we should configure the timeout here as well. My question to you guys, how much time I should put for the timeout or session inactive? Let me discuss this point from the consulting perspective. Very important. What do you think? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes.
10 minutes is sufficient.
Okay. Anjan says 10 minutes is sufficient. Farha, what do you think?
If you are asking specifically about the timeout.
Timeout only, right. That after, if I am not working on my instance for 5 minutes, it should be log out and then need to be log in again. So you said 10 minutes. Farha, according to you, what is the timings?
Yes, do not exceed 50 minutes.
Okay, 15 minutes. One more.
15 minutes, yes.
Shihim, according to you, how much
Same.
time we need to put? 10, 15,
Same,
20,
50.
30?
15, 20 maximum.
20, too
Because-
much, I think.
15 or 20. Sachin.
But hypothetically, do we need?
We will discuss. No, Anjan, wait. I'll definitely come your point. Because still a lot of discussions pending on that part. Let me go through the timings by one to everyone. Sachin, Mahesh, tell me, according to you, how much time we need to be put for the session inactiveness? 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. Gaurav, Roshan, हाँ महेश बोलो. गौरव and रोशन महेश बताओ जल्दी. Quick guys, quick.
Sir, approx 60 minutes.
60 minutes. Okay. Anjan, now come to the hypothetical statement.
Yeah, see, basically, as a rule of thumb, hypothetical situation, if it is any kind of financial transaction, then yes, you can, put a timer out. But if this is a session where we require a lot of information and things to do, so I feel that it is not necessary. As a phase out kind of thing. But yes, when it is a financial terms, when there are some financial things which needs
To put any timings.
Pardon me?
I handed over a laptop to you, okay, and you are working in my company. It doesn't matter for company. I need to be set. It's a 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes that you guys telling to me. Someone says 60, someone say 15, some 20, someone says 30 minutes. Now I come to the which drive this question, and this question was asked by one of my client in my previous account. He says he has the same logic, Anjan, like you. Atul, to raise a change request, I need minimum 30 minutes. Okay. And in 30 minutes, if I get a call, my session get out. And I need to be logged in again. As per the service now, 10 minutes has been set up for the session. This is a homework. You guys need to be which property you need to be, or which property value you need to be set for the session timeout. Second point, I come from my perspective, which I think is a logical, and my customer 100% agree on that part. Okay. Customer says that Atul, if you cannot do anything, if you can do something, please increase the session timeout to the instance for the half an hour. I said, boss, I can do that part. That's not an issue. But I put a cross question on the same. Okay. I asked, what is the security policy, or what is the window logged out policy of your company, that if you're not using laptop, if you're not using your laptop, or you're not putting your hands on the laptop, in how much time your laptop get locked automatically? He says, Atul, in my company, I have a policy of the 5 minutes only. Then how you can accept a tool to be provided more functionality or more flexibility? If you're not using a laptop, it means it is a security breach. The same practice we follow here. So in this case, try to incline this policy with the company security policy. And that was the answer when I give to my customer. He was keep quiet and he accepted the 10-minute session timeout. Now I open for the question answer, or any doubt, any clarification on that front.
No.
Anjan, you think that it is logical to put that company policy on the top to incline with that?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes.
So,
Because, yeah. Like,
go ahead, Anjan.
yeah, if you enhance the company policy into this session type, then obvious now you are, see, basically when you create a session, there are multiple factors which is including into that, like your bandwidth.
Right. Exactly. Right.
The bandwidth, then
I put
that session, the license part, when you come long, like on a top level, the license part, because one session concludes that there is a service now license part is so there. So that could also invoke onto that kind of scenarios as well.
No. There's a no concept of license here, Anjan. It is just session timeout. But so if session is timing out, it doesn't mean that you are be releasing your license as well. You are still the part of. You are still.
Okay, but yeah,
still active in the service now, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I strongly believe that yes, if the company security policy is being placed, then probably that could affect the entire scenario.
Yes, right. Different points come into the picture. I'll give you one more example here. Service login password. So, okay, it is a combination of the alphanumeric, special character, digits, and all this. I said, okay, I can do it for you, but that will be a global. I put a same question. What is minimum 8, maximum you can put 10, 14, 15 as per requirement. I said if you in your company has a password policy for the minimum 8 and the same I am providing for the service now as well, then cursing my tool that you cannot provide this functionality. Because your company policy is saying that to lock or unlock a laptop, you need minimum 8-character password. And the same thing I'm giving in the service now, that minimum 8 length character need to be done. Second question for you guys to be identified, where I can check or set my password policy in ServiceNow. I want the answer of these two questions tomorrow. Number one is that about the session timeout, which property. Number two, you need to be identify where this password length, password validation has been set up in ServiceNow. I will not give this answer to you. You had to be give me the answer of these things. Okay. Now come back to our topic. And thanks for yes, Shim. Yeah, Shim, tell me.
Would you please write the question in the discussion because the voice is cut. We can't hear clearly.
Okay. So my first question is that you guys need to identify the property or the place or the field where you can go and put the session timeout limit in ServiceNow. That is my first question. Second question is that you guys need to identify application or module or field or property or script where you can go and set the password length. It should be 8 character. It should be mix up of the alphanumeric. All these things need to be identified at you. Third point, let me come back. Now you put something to be checked. I'm logging out here. These questions are applicable for everyone. Let me log out. You guys need to identify from where this text is coming. And can I change the text or not? Can I change this particular form or not? Instead of the language, can I remove the language or not? Can I remove this forget password or not? Okay, this is the third and fourth task for you guys. Third task to identify from where this text is coming. Fourth task to identify, can I modify this particular form? I want to remove this language. I want to remove this forget password. Can I do that part or not in ServiceNow? If yes, where I can do that part? It is a homework for you guys. Don't accept answer from me. I will not give you the answer. You
my
are
God.
now enough mature in service now. You understand the terms now. It's your time to go and dig out service now. Only then you will able to learn service now. Otherwise, we cannot proceed further. Now let me come to the portal part. Okay. By Friday you can give me the answers. Not hurry. Not tomorrow. By Friday you can give me the answer. But I need the answers here. Okay. So the last point which I want to discuss is that 404 page. Suppose you are trying to access this LNG link, but you are not able to reach out. Which page you should display to the customer or the user? So you can display for the customer to the user is a 404. Okay, so you can put the here. You can change it. I want it should be go to the clocks. You can put. You can try it. I'm not sure that how I can test this part now. Let me try to do this thing. No, some means to test this options is little tough. We need to be maybe I need to be disconnect my internet and then we can see that how it's becoming. Okay. Catalog homepage and catalog category homepage is basically defined that how if you click on this catalog here. Okay. This is my catalog homepage. This is catalog homepage and this is my category homepage. This is so you can define here. Let me put a catalog homepage here. Double click, sorry, double asterisk, and see I want to put branding over here, and I want to put catalog category homepage is my form. I'm not sure that what I'm doing here. I'm just checking the things randomly. The best point with ServiceNow give is that before you click on the save, you can click on the try it as well. It is like a false link will be generated for you and you can check. Let me click catalog here. Something happens. See, earlier it was showing the browser, but it's not showing the. See, now it's showing like this. From where it is coming? It is coming from the catalog homepage. And category homepage, because we are not able to see the category, so we cannot proceed further on that part. Okay, or let me do one thing. Let me go to the homepage here and try to find out. Let's go here, request something. Yes. Go here, request something. It will be similar for me as of now. Yep. Okay. So these options you can try at your end. Okay. Then you want to change this particular icons, you can change it. And few things are coming from the scripting as well. This is the table sp underscore instance. This is the sys ID for the table. Don't change these things. Don't put any other value here. Otherwise it will be gone. Container, you want to put some background image, you can put it here. If you want to change the background image of this home page, go here and Alt and right click. Alt and right click, go to the edit container image. And you upload a new image here. A lot of things, because this is a complete technical part, nothing else is there. It is a complete technical stuff we are discussing mainly here. Okay, and then let it upload. Let me put only one single, this one. Okay, yeah. And control save. Yeah, now let me see. My image has been changed in the background, right? So these things you can do the R&D at your end. Okay. And then tomorrow we'll see that how I can bring, if I go here, sorry, I click here, how I can bring my catalog here or my categories here. Okay. This thing we discuss tomorrow along with the workflow will kick off, that how and where this workflow has been defined, how the conditions we are mentioning in the system. It will take a good time to be understand, but the only thing is that if you do the some practice today, go and try to create a different items. And guys, you will not able to use my instance for request something because it has been broken. Okay, so you can use your own instance to do the practice. Go ahead and go to request, click a different request for the laptop, mobile phone, go in the background, open that request and see how it's proceeding. Then you will be able to understand this stuff. Okay. Any doubt, any question, any clarification till this point?
No.
No, sir.
Gaurav, Mahesh, Anjan, Sachin,
Yes, sir.
all clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's interesting topic, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so let me stop the recording here.